You're welcome here if you're she, he, we or they. You're welcome here if you're gay, straight or working it out.
As moon rises, the sun slips sight, begins the ritual of this night, for those convinced their path is right. Gathered from north, south, east and west, yet called at another's behest, those treading the path that is left. From near and far, come as you are to this place, and embrace this space, as darker hue embraces you. Of water, spirit, earth and fire, confessing the sins of empire, we come with our wounds and desire. Sensing that we are not alone, drawn to the flame that guides us home, for here, you, me and yet to be. Importance and signs of these times, for the sake of all those maligned, is yet the home of the divine.
Hello. I have no idea. I think 2 weeks ago the internet was not working. Guess what? It's melted. How are we? Yeah. So sorry for not being around the last week due to holiday. So I'd love to hear how you are doing. Is there anything that's been particularly cool for you? Maybe you have just got back from Bloodstock. Met somebody at an Eclipse party who'd just been. Had an awesome time. So if you've been at a festival, yeah, love to hear how that's been for you, or maybe you've been to a gig. Yeah, what's been some good stuff for you in the last kind of week or so? Yeah, love to find out in a comment if you want to share on Facebook and on YouTube.
Hear the crowd as we roar. See the eagle it soars. Wind and rain, refresh once more. From fear, hope redefined, we will not be denied. For are we yet alive? The threefold name and rekindle the flame. Faith, hope and love too, shall we be downcast too? Or stand shield to shield, together in the field, we refuse to yield. Steadfastly holding the line, full of wings in eternity's time. We keep pressing forward until the last, and our cry shall be forever. Choose attack.
Internet still going slow. Oh well. So every time I put a comment up, it seems to go worse. Hello, Retro. Right. All right, Cookie Crew. Evening, Retro. This is cool. This is awesome news. Managed to get tickets to see Megadeth next year. I don't want to get into the whole kind of false dichotomy of Metallica, Megadeth. No. Let's not discuss who the best guitarists were in there. So that's really cool because hanging up their six strings, and I confess I'm a little gutted. I saw them at Rock City on was it? It was well, again, probably the time when most Megadeth fans decided they'd gone to kind of slow and mainstream rather than sort of pure thrash. But I've forgotten the album. The one after Euthanasia. But yeah, so I hope that it's awesome where you're seeing them. That would be really cool. I confess I didn't even think about getting tickets, but a sad occasion. I hope it's an absolutely memorable one for you. That's and Dave Mustaine, Megadeth, and Dave Ellison. We salute you. So Retro, giving thanks for music. Listen to Mad Season. Nice. I confess I don't know why I've not had music on that much. I think I've just been listening to like audio books and stuff. So maybe I need to spend some time getting back into stuff. So you are there. So the last thing I've been listening to, and if I did listen to it this week, it's on my vinyl, but there we are. So my collection of my vinyl case lid of stuff that I'm working through. So the last, my Silent Wake, which again, this is Megadeth stopping. This is going to be the last. I think I'm right. The last my Silent Wake. If you're into UK kind of doom, this is particularly good. Features Simon Bivy, who we did an interview with his solo doom project. By Listless Heart, but it's Ian Arkley and crew. I've been listening to the MP3, so I need to listen to that on vinyl. But I have been enjoying the new one the latest one from Forest of Stars. So UK Victorian black and doom with a sort of slightly progressive edge to it. Very, very good, very atmospheric. Just getting ready for autumn. Hurrah! And we've got the weekend. Thank you. Was it Risk? Oh, my CDs are in the other room. No, Cryptic Writings. Thank you. Thank you. That gave me a time frame which to narrow my thought in. Thank you, Retro. So that's been good to listen to. Thank you for sharing what this day, good people, has made you say. Choose and tack. 1,000 thank yous, but in Norse because it's more Viking, therefore more metal. And choose tack as well. Meeting people this week who have a lovely time at. Several people commenting as well, having a lovely time at Bloodstock. And meeting people with some pretty cool ghost tattoos. That was awesome as well. And eclipse parties, they were very good, and it's much better than the last one. And then I realised somebody said, "Oh, that's the first solar eclipse of your lifetime." Going, "Whoa, that's the last one of my lifetime." Oh well, well, you know, Memento Mori, great album, a song by oh man, it's too hot to think in it. Walk with me in hell, Lamb of God. That's it. But you know, reminder that what we do in life echoes into eternity, but also we are finite. So eclipse parties, if you had one, was good. I saw my first ever shooting star, sort of meteor shower. And what was really cool, I typed into Google, Safari, and then it opened Google. Other search engines are obviously available. But I realized I don't know what a meteor shower looks like. I've only ever seen them in films. Is that real? Is that what they look like? And when I Googled meteor shower, what does it look like? Here's a photo. The entire screen had a meteor shower. That was great. So well done, Google, Alphabet, and other, you know, Firefox, others available. But that was cool to see that. But I did have that moment. if like the kind of like horror films and quite like disaster films in this house, because we're just morbid, Angel, kind of going, oh wow, look at it, whoa. Look at this, isn't it fantastic? Going, hey, well, as if like we're in one of those films, and we're all going, oh, this amazing event, and actually, wait, it's coming straight for us, you know. Thank you, war, but we all survived. Oh, cool. So you're sorry, Mother. I got some photography. Oh, man, that'd be amazing. Did you get any sort of time lapse stuff? There's a guy where I was, which was Stafford Road Methodist Church in Sheffield, with a telescope. He was letting people have a look. And a guy there who'd got, I guess, essentially what you would use as a visor for, which looked very metal. Well, it was made of metal for a start. For welding, but obviously to protect your eyes from the sparks, but also still be able to see, immense heat and light without damaging your eyes. And he said it was really, it was amazing to look through that. I think that's straight. Okay, so stuff I read, I think we had over 100. It was really cool. Different face, different backgrounds, different ages, local music, really good. So I'm glad people turned out in Rotherham, and it was a nice atmosphere. That's lovely, and I'd love to see those photographs at a future meetup. That'd be amazing. I tried to take people taking it through their glasses, and I didn't have any glasses, and I tried to take one and just took a picture of a big ball of light. You missed it. No, well, it's weird, isn't it? Where you see these things in real life, and you can go, "Oh, right, it's just like on the photographs you see." I guess because I was chatting to people and I got my back to the sun, it was just really interesting kind of noting bits where every now and then you went, oh, it's just got a bit darker. And I guess it moved from where we were, it moved kind of up and across almost right to left. So it got to the point where there's like a rim of light just at the top. And then it moved off. So it didn't kind of go, obviously it wasn't not a full eclipse, not a full Jaffa cake. But kind of going, it was humbling, I guess, a sense of our own, just all this stuff happening and all these meteors that are there. I was trying to blame my mind going, but that's happening all the time. And what we're saying is actually did breathe us 100 years ago. And yet that's happening all the time, but we can only see it at a certain time depending on light pollution and then darkness and the fact there was a new moon, so that didn't create more light pollution. And yet all that stuff happening beyond us all the time just gave me a sense of, I guess my own importance in the grand scheme of things, which is not at all important. But in some ways quite a reassuring thing that, creation happens. And I know the horror of the wildfires and stuff that's happening around the world and in this country, and trains derailing too in 24 hours. And the impact on the climate, and people in Stourbridge who've lost their houses. Completely lost their houses. And yet, despite the impact we have, somehow nature carries on. But also that encouragement to care for it as much as we can. So so you had the filter over the camera. Nice. I was about to say next time, but there won't be a next time for me. That's not good. I'm gonna get morbid now. Sorry. So I think if you get a chance to have anything, look to any pictures online, but it was it was. I think if I could have sat somewhere with some glasses and just watched it, I don't know whether I'd have been sometimes you see the sunset and it's almost, it's there and it's moving, and you're not aware of it moving. And then it happened to me in France, like looking out over a cliff, and you saw it physically dip. Well, I suppose we were moving, but anyway, yeah, the effect is that you see it dip behind. That sense of movement was pretty cool. So I'm glad that was a positive experience for those that could have it. And I did in honor of the queue simulator in South Park. I think you've seen that episode where they're all queuing at the sort of village fairground. And I spent 2 hours in a queue, and they get to the front. There's a guy going, "That's like how many dollars, please?" holding up a sign saying, "Thank you for riding the queue simulator." So I was trying to encourage people to have a go on the Metal Methodist Eclipse simulator. I say, "Are you ready? Are you ready? Shut your eyes. Eclipse!" Yeah, which I found highly amusing in my own head. But yeah. Anyway, perhaps there's stuff as well that has not been good. It might be, so to speak, I missed it in terms of that. It might be, how you are in your own head, how you are physically at the minute, many things. So if there's stuff that's difficult and heavy for you, not in a core metal way, and you want to acknowledge that, it's helpful just to get it out of yourself by sharing it. Maybe you don't have to share it in a comment. You're welcome to, if it's helpful, just to write it down on a bit of paper where you are. I was going to say burn it, but maybe given all the wildfires, shred it, tear it up small, and put it in the recycling. But again, a sense of we acknowledge it, and then maybe we see it differently because it's no longer within us. So maybe sharing it if you want to. It's a way of then knowing that we're going to think of you, that we're going to kind of just offer all our hopes and concern and prayer for you in whatever situation. So a chance to share some of that, if that is helpful, so we can listen or watch to this while we have a think about if there's stuff we want to lay down and let go of that is heavy for us, not in a corner.
As the light fades from sight, all is lost into darkest night. Sticks and stones,
I'm not going to do the gratuitous key change because the irony which is maybe why he did it. In which case, fair play. About stuff you want to acknowledge that's difficult, and probably one for that is offer it in prayer. A retro posted, pray for your internet, at which point I displayed that message and my internet went. Amazing. Gareth! No, you're welcome at any time and all the time, my friend. Both of you, in fact. Hope you're both okay. So this is interesting. Thank you, Rachel. So somebody mentioned, I don't know, I've been listening to more spoken word stuff, so like including like news on the radio. Like, how did I not notice this? But somebody mentioned the National Briefing film to me, and I went, I'm like, so when they said it, I kind of had a flashback to those things in the like height of the Cold War, where 60s, 70s, very early 80s, right, it's public education films about what to do if the big one goes up, or don't play on railway lines and don't go swimming in reservoirs or what were quarries, otherwise terrible things will surely happen. And I think even in the 80s or 90s, they were still using a film from the 70s. So in my head, when somebody said an emergency briefing film, I thought, oh my goodness me, it's the end of the world as you know it. But so it's about raising awareness. But is it? So yeah, who's done it then? Is it a government thing, or is that just the title of it? So it's about the climate crisis and what we can do about it. Essentially, cool. Well, cool would be good, wouldn't it? But not in a sort of unhelpful way of polluting the atmosphere in order to cool things. But at the same time, hearing about stuff in the NHS, and the need for cooler spaces and how we do that environmentally in an environmentally friendly way. And the need for cool spaces in communities. And I've talked about this before, about particularly in Liverpool, the Anglican Cathedral was designated a cool space. It's a cool space. And also the Catholic Cathedral is also a cool space. But in this case, cool space. But yeah, how do we do that? As well as needing warm space in winter. And then Andy Burnham, having visited Stourbridge in the scene of that horrible fire that's destroyed people's homes, and saying, but potentially this heat wave is going to be followed by intense rain and potential floods. So a very timely film. I'd love to hear out who it's by. So it's a screen. So if you're in around Dronfield, the edge of Sheffield, then Dronfield Baptist Church is the 12th of September. Maybe I can get hold of it. I don't know if we're allowed to restream it, but maybe we can share it at our next in-person gathering, which will be in Sheffield itself, I think in Stafford Road. So more details about that in the next couple of weeks. Let's give people time to get back from holiday. So thank you for sharing that, Rachel. I think that's important, isn't it? I mean, a couple of lines sometimes get stuck in your head. Sorry. Whereas when I was recording it, it just wound everybody else up here by getting stuck in their head. And there we go. I tried to channel my inner Papa from Ghost. It didn't go very well, as you can tell. But thank goodness for Melodyne, which allows you to put the notes or the music on the notes you were trying to aim for. It doesn't make your voice sound any better, but it makes it sound more like it was somewhere in some of the right notes, occasionally in the right order. Gareth, welcome as always, both of you. Yes, maybe we could, because if you need one, I know a guy. Sorry, that sounds like I'm being flippant about like climate emergency. I'm not, but I'm just stupid and say things like that. But yeah, definitely, is that? Yeah, So Andy Burnham saying that we're going to get, which I didn't know we hadn't got in this country, like kind of aerial firefighting. I do like planes. I don't like flying, but I think because I got my Transformers t-shirt on, and my favourite Transformers are the Seekers, who are the sort of villainous pantomime villains, but they're all planes. And every time I see them, my brain goes pew, pew, So that's exciting to watch. Some airplanes with water coming out. That sounds really cool. It's a shame that we need them, obviously, but yeah. What else then? Ark, that would be good. Okay, what would you? Okay, question: who or what would go on the Ark? I'm not saying we have to choose which people to say which, but kind of, if it's about taking forward the best, what we might consider the best of. Because some of this is, all of this, our human impact on the environment and our misinterpretation, thanks to certain translations of the Bible, where it said, have dominion over creation. And in time, initially, that kind of meant a dominion, to rule over, but to rule over in a beneficent, caring, looking after way, like a good lord, lady, king, queen ruler would do in sort of Middle Ages, Renaissance kind of time. But then dominion is also where we get dominate, and that's perhaps the way we've understood it, that we can do what we want to it, and we're perhaps reaping the consequences of that. What would you put on the Ark? What are the things that actually, a bit like a time capsule, kind of going, look, we've made some terrible mistakes. Personally, I've made terrible mistakes as a human race. We've done some things that are not great, but are there things that we kind of go, yeah, actually, here's a chance to acknowledge the good stuff, and that's the stuff we put on the Ark. It's a simple thought exercise thing, not on about who says and who gets to kind of require a very large snorkel. So Retro would save all the cats. Yes, I was talking about my tortoise, because I was saying to my tortoise as I went out to look at the meteor shower, going, it's one of the lands. If it turns out it's not a meteor, it's the actual comet, it's coming straight for us. Don't worry, little tortoise, you'll be all right. Because there's things that would survive. So maybe like amoeba, or things, effectively the dinosaurs that are still here. Look at alligators and things, and birds are direct descendants from dinosaurs, aren't they? So the resilience within nature, but the vulnerable ones like cats. There's definitely cat love going around. Excellent. Anybody here for dogs? If we are in this Ark, right, people, and the dogs end up kind of needing exercising, if anybody sings who let the dogs out, they're going overboard. Currently on holiday in Bournemouth. Nice. Well, that's okay then. So you are prime seats for the front of the Ark. And I hope it's like the Fisher-Price one, where there's like a little hole for the giraffe. I don't know why I'm doing that. What is that thing for? Oh no, now I've got the sound of a dying giraffe in my head from South Park. I will make the sound of the day in the film. I'll make the sound of a dying giraffe. Team dog, right? Cat or dog, tea or coffee? Or tea, obviously, Yorkshire tea. It's just like other tea, but better because it's from Yorkshire, apparently, according to Hild. Okay. So my daughters have a dog. It stinks. It's very nervous. It kind of dribbles everywhere. You need an Ark when the dog's around, to be quite frank. Okay, so you don't like dogs, Retro, but German Shepherds and Labradors are nice. I realised in my 40s that I've thought one breed of dog was completely different all my life. So I've completely confused. Oh, wait on. Is a German Shepherd also an Alsatian? Because I recognised that what I thought was a German Shepherd. Somebody said, no, that's such and such. Like, oh, what's a German Shepherd then? So just going back to Rachel's comment, thank you, this is helpful. Oh, presented by Chris Steele. No, not Pat. Oh, presented by Chris Packer, and Rachel, you have put this message up. So thank you, Rachel, and Chris Packer, a fellow autist. In civil sciences, scientists, experts talking about how climate change will affect different areas like health, the economy. Okay, that sounds utterly terrifying, but therefore probably really important to watch. So cool. So can you is it available to watch online as well? I just wonder, might see if we can get a copy of it and legitimately share it, stream it, whatever. To have a kind of conversation. So in the Methodist Church, it wasn't the Methodist Church actually. It was many Christian denominations, including the Methodist Church, the Baptist Union, United Reformed Church, did a report probably 20 years ago now called Hope in God's Future, which was, again, trying to address the historic way in which perhaps in the Bible in Genesis it talks about, human beings are made last in creation, right? As a metaphor story for, explaining the natural world and relationships within it, and that doesn't decry from the Big Bang and evolution and the actual existence of dinosaurs, and the world not being 6,000 years old, but as a metaphor expressing human understanding, in the equivalent to, I guess, our Bronze Age. So, as a way of making sense of the world. But interestingly, a bit like when you look at maps and kind of, for ages, Jerusalem was in the middle of the earth. Well, it was not. You look at the map and, depending where it's being produced, suddenly Europe is way bigger than other countries that are actually physically bigger. So actually, how we understand and how we express it in art and in story says something about us as cultures. And so human beings are created last in this story and given dominion, which perhaps now we'd translate as given responsibility to take care of, to caretake creation. But the view is that human beings are the best and the pinnacle of it. And so perhaps the way we've treated the natural world has come from that kind of mindset. And we are now reaping the consequences of that, when in fact, so the church report came out about Hope in God's Future. So it'd be really good to show this film and to, kind of talk about some of the stuff in the Bible where actually reminds us that if you are a person of faith, then if life is the gift from the Panto Creator, the All Parent, the Divine, the universal force of love, then it's about love and respect and care, not about domination. And so what can we do to care for this planet? So thank you for that, Rachel. Okay. I'm glad balance has been restored. So cats and dogs, which reminds me of rain. Do you remember rain? When I was away last week in Hereford, I texted one of my daughters going, "There's this stuff coming out of the sky. It's wet. I don't know what it is." Remember it? What is it? Rain? Oh my goodness. And it lasted about 3 minutes, and it was a fine mizzle, bit mizzly. Seems to be the first time ever that the phrase "everybody back outside, it's spitting" will be uttered when we get some rain in the next few days. But again, just think about those who've lost their homes for the fire, now they're going to get hit by floods, and just on behalf of all creation, perhaps let's lay this stuff down, because again, the temptation to, perhaps it's not a bad thing, and particularly if you are gothically minded, I think with metal and stuff, it's criticised for being, it's all a bit dark and a bit grim, but actually there is something about looking into the void sometimes and not burying your head in the sand. There's a realism and a sense of your own, a sense of perspective and your own significance in things, that perhaps the alternative metal world can speak into this moment. But let's lay down whatever it is that's heavy for you, and not in a cool metal way.
The principalities and will to power, the worms from within my own darkest hour. I confess all the regrets and the regrets, the burdens and fears, the lament and the tears. I lay them down.
And as we do, I believe that the universal force of love and welcome and the chance to start again and try and be better comes running out to meet us in the person of Jesus, the original long-haired bearded dude from Nazareth, saying, "Come to me, or you who are weary and heavy laden, even if you do not like Iron Maiden. But why would not you? And I will give you rest. May rest and peace and wholeness and hope and connection be yours in whatever way you need it. So, update. Thank you, Rachel. So if you want to do a screening, you register your interest on the website and they send the links down there in the film. Cool. I don't know. So I should investigate and see if we can stream it as well. I suspect there might be sort of copyright stuff, but I'll see if it's a permission thing for that. And if not, I will register to physically share it when we next gather as Metal Methodists in Sheffield during September. Is there any of the kind of situations we talked about the environment? Are there any other things that people want to kind of share or discuss or to offer hope or concern for? I hope that both Mr. and Mrs. Gibson are having an awesome time in Bournemouth. I think it was Bournemouth that I saw the Mask. I remember being impressed with the waves at Bournemouth. Yeah, that was good. I remember going for a very long walk from where the pier is down to the other side because the ice cream van had run out of whatever it was I wanted. So I walked 2 miles in the opposite direction. And got there and it had shut. Probably by the exhibition centre, maybe. I don't know. So other things that people want to share. Thank you, Rich Rowe. So it is going to get cooler and rainy over the next few days. So that's good news. Yeah. So before I went away, I kind of attacked the garden and redid a bit of gardening that I'd done before by trying to prune things, but all that happened was things just grew back twice as quick. It's so hot, even my tortoise was hiding. So yeah, it will be nice to have some rain, and yeah, just looking around at places, just generally how parched the landscape is, and I guess we are going to need some serious rain. I know there's the potential risk of flooding, etc. But as a scientist in our household was pointing out to me as a little brain that it's not going to need a little bit of shower. It's not going to cut it because the ground is so compacted that it's going to need some serious moisture to kind of start to deconstruct it to be able to. So then it doesn't absorb, so hence you get the rain and the flash floods because it's just kind of off and going rather than being absorbed. It's just. But again, maybe that Chris Packham documentary that Rachel shared does kind of help. Certainly me, in terms of it just points out our interconnectivity, and it's whether you are a secularist, an empiricist. Whether you are whatever faith or spirituality you may have, the bottom line is we're part of the same system. We're dependent on each other, and also with creation. Whether it's however all this came to be, it is what it is, and there's only one of it. And at the same time, Mr. Musk's SpaceX rocket careering into the moon and scientists getting very excited about watching the crater that it made. And I'm going, why are we not talking about the fact that maybe we should be leaving some of space junk up there? And if we're going to do stuff, we know what litter and plastic pollution has done to this planet and water and the ecosystem. Learning that lesson, maybe before we fire too much stuff up and keep doing it. He said the other night watching meteors, but also satellites going cool. And all that interconnectivity that we have through science and technology as well. But maybe we should come up with a plan for how we don't leave stuff up there. And the same with Everest and all these 8,000 meter peaks where, the amount of money and stuff involved trying to go and clear it up. Can we come up with a plan of how we might keep it clean before we go and make a mess of it this time? So maybe, there are people who are going to shoot themselves off and live in a colony in Jupiter or Uranus or something. I don't know. Sorry, the correct pronunciation is Uranus, isn't it? I now believe. There we are. So thank you, Gareth. At times when things get heavy, I like to remind myself that I would have predicted the worst before and been wrong. Man, that is That is so wise. There is the whole Monday missive. Thank you very much. If you haven't, well, I hope you have been reading Gareth's Monday missives. Just some really helpful, reflective and poetic writing and reflection. And that is so wise. Yes. And I say this as someone in the last 2 years who's discovered, I've been told that, my experience of life has been the way it is because I'm autistic, but I didn't know, and I have ADHD, and I'm waiting for medication because that might turn down the sort of internal panic, freak out, catastrophizing, and just the, and there are lots of other ways of dealing with that. I'm not advocating, medication or not, but when it becomes debilitating, and I guess anybody who experiences anxiety or who struggles to sleep at night and their brain is going tick, 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 perhaps we can all relate to it a little bit. That the reality is perhaps never quite as bad as we thought. And you have prompted me to share, because I talked about Andy Burnham visiting Stourbridge and the horrendous situation with people's houses being burnt down. But then he spoke about the fact that the fire services and rescue services around the country are basically doing mutual aid. So wherever they're needed, the ones that have capacity go and help. And there's, I think, 37 wildfires in the UK at the minute. But Andy Burnham also talking about the way in which the local community, people just connecting and doing stuff and helping and putting together emergency centres. And so even in maybe as a result of the worst of what we can do, we are seeing the best of what we can be in terms of love and care and support. So that's really helpful and sage and wise. Thank you. So I think let's offer a big offering to the Pantocrator for this day. And it's an expression of hope. I think the hope that Gareth expresses there. And if in the moments when we are not wrong with a loud lament, and there are some amazing soundtracks for that. I particularly enjoy a bit of Machine Head, Jesus Wept, and a lot of Megadeth stuff actually, just to go that stuff. But also within that is the hope that somehow, some way, love wins, and connection wins, and hope wins, and that helps us look for the good stuff, not in a kind of bury our heads kind of way, or a twee way, live, laugh, love, lobotomy, but just to keep on going and face the next day, and those signs of hope and life and love genuinely make a huge difference. And that this experience that I had at this new physical on-site church that I'm privileged to work with, just being there in this space where so there were people from the church there, but the vast majority were just people from the local community, and we're all together in this moment with this sense of wonder and awe at the natural world, and people helping each other make little pinhole viewers, and helping each other keep hydrated, people using their musical gifts, people doing face painting, kind of nail stuff and kids activities. It was just really cool. It was just really cool that actually we can pull together, and it was again just that, as you say, Gareth, just that those who fellow people who like to kind of expect the worst, that you won't be disappointed, and struggle to not worry about things, like overly worry about things, then those moments really do help, and from whatever point we're in life, being able to look back on those moments and remind ourselves, as you say, Gareth, that actually they were grim, absolutely, not to take away from that, but actually we're on the other side. There's resilience. We have experienced it, and we're still here, and we're still standing. We might need some help to stand. some of us might need to be sat down and wheeled around for a bit. But, you know, we can all support each other. So, yeah, thank you, my friend. Yeah. So let's make our offering on behalf of ourselves, those whom we love, on behalf of this planet, on behalf of all those who are affected by wildfires, all the stuff around settlements in Gaza kicking off. Well, I suppose it hasn't not kicked off. It's just not being reported perhaps as much, but it's in the news again. Those waiting for results, those who perhaps got results and it's not what they expected, who are now, you know, in their head, that's it, life is over. And I realised the other day, I sound like my mum. Well, you know, in the grand scheme of things, that's not how my mum sounds, by the way. She doesn't have a bigger beard. But yeah, you know, oh, well, you know, it's not the end of the world. Well, shut up, James, because, you know, in this moment for your child, you know, whoever people getting their results, you know, it may well be. It might feel like that. That's not how my kids felt, by the way. But it's, hope springs eternal. Hope springs eternal. In some ways, we might think that Paradise Lost, what a great band. But also, you know, certainly for me, the big story, the big arc of the Bible, metal or otherwise, even if it's made of paper, is one of Eden restored, paradise found, rediscovered, and things in balance and connected and aware of that connection, therefore respected, including each other as people, wherever we are on this planet. So let's make our offering by sharing together in these words.
To the one in whom all people and all creation have their being, may your kingdom come, your will be done, as above, so below. Sustain us for this day. Show us grace as we seek to show grace to those we feel have wronged us. Save us from the worst that is within us and within this world. For the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen.
So I hope whatever lies ahead of you this day, that there is moments of Sabbath that include rest, but stuff that is also restorative, whether it's hanging with people, whether it's enjoying music, art, science, film, whatever it is that just grounds you and replenishes you, as well as physically replenishes you. Keep hydrated, people, whilst respecting host pipe hands. It's all so complicated, isn't it? As Gareth said, that perhaps things are never going to be quite as grim as we might expect them to be, and so we can entrust those things into the hands of the Panther Creator, the Creator, the person above and beyond and of all things, that kind of holds and binds everything together. So may rest and replenishment and recuperation and refreshment, inwardly and physically, be yours this night. May we now go in peace. So if any of the tunage is helpful to you, then feel free to check out Vile Submission on bandcamp.com. And now the notices. Notice of respect to those Bookstock community who entered the pit, Bloodstock, Bleed From Within. I don't know, one person posted about that. I don't know here tonight, so fair play. I spoke to somebody the other night at the sort of Crips party. They'd also done similar, so yeah, fair play. We salute you. So join at the same time, same place, 6 o'clock next Friday at 6 o'clock GMT. Yeah. But then the week after, well, I'll try and do something online. But if you are at the Greenbelt Festival on Friday of the bank holiday weekend, in the Hope and Anchor tent, which is the Methodist Church who are a partner with Greenbelt, in the Hope and Anchor tent at Greenbelt at 9:30, the last thing happening is a Friyay night ritual in person. So if you're at that festival, it'd be lovely to see you there. That bit won't be streamed because we're using kind of music in there that would upset the copyright gods on the stream. So I'll stream from the site earlier on about this sort of time on the bank holiday weekend on the Friday, but then at 9:30, if you are at Greenbelt, please do come and say hello, come and find us. So yeah, again, a bit like this, you can come and just lurk, listen to the music. You can come and sing along to some of the tunes. There's some well-known metal hymns for us to sing. Don't know, bit of Ghosts, bit of Black Sabbath, bit of Metallica, I think, and some Slipknot. So yeah, lots of stuff. So you can do some interactive stuff if that's helpful. You can just turn off the tunes. You can just enjoy an alcohol-free beer, or wine, or cider, or a cup of tea or coffee. The boba, I think they might be boba, but my experience at the Hope and Anchor tent is the boba is very, very popular, and might, I mean, it's the first night officially, so we might still have boba, but yeah, but the Methodist Church, the Hope and Anchor tent, is there the whole festival with lots of conversations connecting, well, stuff like we've done tonight, connecting those big questions about the human experience, to questions of faith, but being real about the world that we live in and its challenges, and trying to make sense of that, or explore how we try and be, as Gareth said, people who still believe in hope and look for hope amidst all that stuff. So if you are there, please come and say hello. It'd be awesome to be with you. And yeah, failing that, next Friday, first of all, see you here again. And now, Blisters and Others. Sway with me, Metal Methodists. Sway with me, Metal Methodists. Anybody else in the UK? Did your phone just go off? Like, anybody else had a siren go off? Like, what's the part? I didn't get a chance to read it. Like, as the world ended, I didn't know. Okay, so for those who might not have got it, oh no, a public service broadcast. It's amazing. Severe alert issued by the UK government. Megadeth are calling it a day. No, that's not what it says. It should do. There is a very high risk of wildfires nationally. Residents, landowners, I thought I said lawnmowers, landowners and visitors should not undertake any activity that could start a fire. Fire. It's not a laughing matter, James. that could start a fire, including disposable barbecues, fire pits, garden incinerators, or fireworks. So, yeah, don't start a fire, basically. Even a small flame, a bit like faith and love and hope, even a small flame can rapidly develop into a wildfire, placing lives, homes, businesses, and emergency responders at risk, as we know, sadly, for the people in Starbridge and the other 37 places where this is happening. Yes, yeah, that's okay. I was just, it happened as I pressed the end stream bit, and it was in my back pocket, and it screeched and vibrated, and now I have to change my pants. Yeah, so cool, that's all right then. So follow official updates and report signs of fire immediately by calling 999. Yeah, so there you go. We all got it. That's cool. Good to know it works. Whoa. Oh, wow. Did everyone kind of like, was it then sort of like, if I was there, I'd have jumped out my skin and like smashed plates by accident and go, knock things flying, and then our rest would go. So I hope that has not ruined your meal. Please do enjoy your meal, unless it's, well, obviously it's a barbecue where you douse it thoroughly. Enjoy the rest of your, enjoy dessert. Yeah. But anyway, that's the public service announcement done with. Thank you. Take care. Also, hello restaurant. Hello Bournemouth. Goodbye. It's now going to be an awkward moment while it ends. I mean, okay, it's going to be more Chris Waddle. There's going to be more awkward moments while it ends. I need a test card. Where's Hill gone? Hill? I'll hold Hill up as a test card. Anyway.